Mary. Her face appears subsequently just one more time, but of the soul. As before, only it seems that unsettling spreads out. Her facial muscles, lips tremble, something seems to push its way through. Grant as a dancer. Besides the fact that there are an immense number of references to, especially early, songs of the singer, it seems to me as if that Grant does not fit to the other dancers. Not only that her clothing, unlike the others she is dressed, and so inappropriate impression makes, her ear pendants. Thus she could lie on the beach, which you cannot necessarily say from the other dancers. There too also the tassels change nothing, which then maybe be not absolutely adequate for the beach. Her whole posture, expression, her movements have nothing really saucy in itself, simply entirely in contrast to the other dancers. I would interpret this with pleasure indeed, but I would like to speak with Elizabeth Grant about it previously, whether this is actually artistic origin, or that it's more because that one, Grant, or she herself, did not want to show in a corresponding style. So I would like to end therewith. Ross and Grant at the drugstore and at home. Ross at the drugstore is hard to beat in bleakness and loneliness. Also Grant appears later there, as a gang of men, bare-chested, obviously boisterous, enters the shop. A cut shows the two at their home. It's a messy, dirty, dusty, shrouded in a hazy light. Grant drinks from a big plastic bottle of Coke and appears like the classic cast. Former school beauty, now two-bit, disillusioned wife. Only the crying baby is missing. Ross sits at the table and appears as a ridiculous satirism of a gangster. The 50s or 60s, nota bene. Shirt and hat at the apartment and with a gun playing. 4 of the gang members. They seem to kneel or look at one point. Their faces appear expectantly. Another member is noticeably excited. Finally, a woman's hand puts something on the tongue of another member. It could be a host, an Eucharist, digestion, which will continue with cocaine. The mood is exuberant. Ross seems nervous, displeased, tense. Grant and Ross. She leans on the shelf and eats ice cream. He leans with his eyes closed against an empty meat counter. A strange mood prevails. Something is in the air. Ross takes a drain cleaner from the shelf and looks at it, puts it in the next scene like a gun, and aims at the runaway gang members. They rip out things from the shelves while running away. Ross tracks them and they leave the store. Ross and Grant are alone again and look at the stuff on the floor. The gravity, the oppression, the bleakness of the whole scene, only interrupted by the arrival of the gang and the ceremony, it has them back again. The absolute emptiness. The gang on the road. They appear very late for the first time, and until the beginning of Gods and Monsters also for the only time. Language. In the form of a pump gun and 2 woman legs in hot pants. It's drunk, played, weapons are omnipresent. Ross and Grant share a cigarette. The girls of the gang. 2 titles cross instantly my mind. Carmen and This Is What Makes Us Girls. The girls, explicitly girls. Hot pants or short skirts. Skimpy tops, stand together, talk, do their hair, drink, smoke. Grant is one of them. She is part of the group. Unlike at the supermarket or at home, the mood is exuberant. Grant and Ross as a couple. 3 times we see the two standing or sitting next to each other. Grant makes soap bubbles. The last time at the last verse of the poem. Oh, I say now, these are the soul. And the expression at her face, it resembles that of Mary. Now we have finally lost paradise, but also have not arrived yet. It will still also last a short moment, but then we are there, where we should be, in the land of gods and monsters. Thank you for listening.